steel clinks against leather straps. Narur, Yodid shine. The Suna's light cuts through the morning mist, casting shadows on the polished armor I wear every day. My sword rests at my side, its weight familiar yet constant. My eyes adjust to the bustling streets of Demacia, where people move with purpose and efficiency. The rhythmic thud of boots echoes around me as soldiers march in formation. I keep pace with them, my steps steady and synchronized. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of pine from nearby gardens. A cold wind nips at my cheeks, but I pay it no mind. My breath forms small clouds that dissipate quickly. I notice a child waving to me from behind her mother's leg, her eyes wide with curiosity. She tugs on her mother Ati's dress, pointing directly at me. Her mother smiles and nods in respect. The sound of clashing metal draws my attention. A group of soldiers sparring in the courtyard ahead. They move fluidly, their swords flashing in the sunlight. I watch them for a moment, before turning back to face the Daya's duties. A squire approaches with a polished shield, his hand steady as he offers it to me. The shield is heavy, but perfectly balanced against my arm. I take up position at the entrance of the training grounds, where trainees will soon arrive. My sword and shield are ready, my stance firm. Danger looms in the background, always present but never unexpected. The sun climbs higher into the sky, casting long shadows as the morning progresses. Each moment is filled with purpose, each breath taken with the same resolute determination. I stand vigilant at my post, armor clinking softly as I adjust my stance. My grip on the sword feels secure, familiar from countless hours of training. The sun beats down relentlessly, but it does not distract me. I check my surroundings, noting every detail with sharp focus. I move to inspect the perimeter, my boots crunching on gravel paths. A patrol route is marked out clearly in my mind, each checkpoint a necessary task. My eyes scan for any signs of disturbance or intrusion. Nothing unusual presents itself, but that does not ease my vigilance. I return to the barracks and collect my bow and arrows from the supply chest. The weapons are well maintained, ready for immediate use if needed. I string the bow precisely, testing its tension with a practiced hand. Each arrow is inspected before being placed in my quiver, ensuring they are sharp and true. Training begins again under the watchful eyes of our instructors. Now, drills are rigorous but methodical. Endurance exercises, sparring sessions, strategy discussions. My movements are efficient, each strike measured and calculated for maximum effect. I absorb feedback from more experienced soldiers, correcting my form with precision. Duty calls me to a meeting with senior officers. We review intelligence reports, plan patrols, and coordinate defenses. Orders are clear and concise. My role is well defined within the hierarchy. When dismissed, I proceed directly to my assigned watch post without hesitation. Night brings its own challenges. Silence amplifies every sound. Shadows conceal potential threats. My senses heighten as darkness envelops the area. I maintain constant communication with other guards through prearranged signals and codes. Any anomaly is reported immediately. Dawn breaks, and routine resumes. Meals are taken quickly, conversations brief, and to the point. Every moment outside of training or watch time is dedicated to personal maintenance, cleaning equipment, reinforcing armor, reviewing tactics. I am here because this function is being performed. The sun beats down relentlessly as I patrol the perimeter of our camp. The heat presses in from all sides, a constant presence that molds my movements into rigid efficiency. My leather armor sticks to my skin, each bead of sweat clinging to the fabric like tiny shackles. The first time, the heat is an unwelcome visitor, demanding acknowledgement and adjustment. I move through the grassy landscape with practiced steps, eyes scanning for any sign of intrusion. The ambient sounds are a steady hum. Rustling leaves from the wind, distant chatter from my comrades in the camp's heart. Overhead, birds call out their morning routines, but these too become part of the backdrop as I focus on more pressing details, tracking signs of movement, checking defensive positions. Each time I pause to drink from my water skin, the weight of it feels familiar yet heavy. The metallic taste of dried sweat mixes with the cool liquid, a reminder of the day's relentless progress. My hand grips the strap of my sword holster, feeling its shape and weight as second nature. It hangs there, ever present, but requires less conscious thought to maintain. The pressure of our collective aura builds as we prepare for the day's training exercises. A steady stream of soldiers moves past me, each one contributing to a shared sense of readiness. The initial burst of energy from their arrival is palpable, sharp and demanding attention, but with each passing moment, this too becomes part of the air I breathe. It hangs there, an undercurrent that guides my actions, but no longer a focal point. The metallic weight of my weapon feels less pronounced as I draw it for practice drills. Each swing arcs through the air in smooth arcs, the blade slicing through imagined threats with practiced ease. The sound of metal against metal echoes around us, blending into the ambient noise, rhythm that accompanies every breath and heartbeat. As the day progresses, the heat remains a constant companion, but its demands lessen. My body adapts without need for conscious effort, each bead of sweat evaporating in the relentless sun. The metallic grip of my weapon feels less intrusive, more like an extension of my arm. The ambient sound saw, a collage of rustling leaves and distant chatter, become merely background noise. The routine of duty anchors me firmly within this world, where conflict is a constant presence. Each sensation that once demanded attention now fades into the fabric of everyday existence. There is no need to comment on its absence. It simply becomes part of the unspoken reality we navigate together, day after day. The sun beats down relentlessly, a constant drumming on the metal of my armor. Sweat trickles down my spine and collects at the small of my back, but I move with practiced precision, never breaking rhythm. My feet know each step in this familiar landscape, guided by years of repetition. We form a loose perimeter around the training grounds, our movements synchronized without conscious thought. Each soldier's presence is felt more than seen, a pulsing energy that guides and supports me. The space between us stretches and contracts with a fluidity born of countless hours spent together. There are no words exchanged. We communicate through subtle shifts in posture and timing. Our drills begin with the rise of dawn, the cold metal of swords sliding into their holsters, as if by unspoken agreement. The routine is familiar, each motion an extension of muscle memory. We move from one exercise to another seamlessly, our formations shifting like water finding its level. No one needs to direct. We flow together, a single entity with many limbs. During patrol, my eyes scan the horizon and beyond, but they are not alone in their vigilance. Others' gazes intersect mine, forming a web of awareness that extends far beyond any individual's reach. Every flicker of movement is noted, every shadow scrutinized, yet none feels personal. It is simply part of the process. Water breaks our routine briefly, cooling skin and steel alike. The taste is metallic, but familiar, a reminder of the relentless effort required to maintain order. Each sip refuels us for the next round of drills, where swords clash in practiced arcs and parries. My arms move with effortless grace, the weight of my blade no more than an extension of myself. As night falls, we disperse into darkness without words, each moving to a designated area within our shared space. Our presence fades from open confrontation to quiet readiness. Yet, I am never truly alone. The rhythm of other saw breathing mixes with mine in the stillness, a chorus that reassures me even as it recedes. In this world, individuals blur into patterns and sequences. My role is clear, my purpose unshakable, and every action aligns seamlessly with those around me. There is no need for recognition or distinction. We are one collective force, each part essential but interchangeable within the whole. The sun beats down relentlessly, its rays a constant reminder of the day's endless vigilance. Yet my body moves with practiced ease, each step synchronized with those around me. The heat molds my movements into rigid efficiency, and initial discomfort has long faded into familiarity. Sounds blend into the background as I focus on the task at hand, patrolling the perimeter once more. My eyes scan for any signs of intrusion or disturbance, finding none. Each breath is steady, each heartbeat measured. Water's taste a fleeting reminder of ongoing exertion, yet it does not distract me from my purpose. My sword holster feels like an extension of my arm, its weight familiar and reassuring. The collective energy of the unit guides our actions without need for words or conscious thought. Practice drills become effortless routine, each movement executed with precision and confidence. Adaptation has stripped sensations of demand, integrating them seamlessly into daily existence. As I return to base camp, I hand over my patrol report to a comrade who takes it without question. Our interactions are brief but necessary, maintaining the disciplined mindset that ensures every action aligns perfectly with our role. The routine provides order and purpose, each task approached with unwavering dedication. The day's tasks complete, I turn to training new recruits. Their eager faces mirror my own early days, filled with determination and a bit of trepidation. Guiding them through drills, I see the same resilience in their movements, the same sense of belonging as they adapt to this way of life. The cycle continues without need for change or questioning. This is enough. Nothing feels missing or unresolved. Routine is workable and self-contained, each day blending into the next with unwavering consistency. The daily routine operates with a precision that ensures operational readiness. Each task is executed without hesitation, aligning perfectly with the overarching demands of our environment. The relentless heat and constant vigilance serve as thresholds that every member must adapt to, ensuring that inefficiency is minimized and stability maintained. Our unit functions as an interconnected system where individual roles are clearly defined, yet fluid enough to shift according to need. When new recruits join, they undergo rigorous training that standardizes their skills, integrating them seamlessly into our collective framework. This process is not about imposing hardship, but rather ensuring each member's capacity aligns with the operational requirements. The sun's glare and the weight of armor are merely conditions we must endure. They challenge us to adapt, pushing personal limits until these constraints become second nature. The sweat that beads upon my skin is evidence of exertion, a reminder that every moment spent training enhances our preparedness for whatever threats may arise. Communication within the unit flows like a well-oiled machine, with nods and gestures carrying more weight than words. This unspoken understanding reduces redundancy and ensures that each action supports the larger objective without unnecessary interference. Every task, from patrolling to sparring, is approached with an unwavering focus on efficiency and effectiveness. The sense of belonging within this structured environment is not a matter of personal sentiment, but a recognition of mutual reliance. Each member's contribution is essential, contributing to the overall stability and readiness of our unit. The blurring of individual identity in favor of collective purpose ensures that we remain cohesive and resilient against external pressures. In essence, this system functions because it must. Every aspect, from the harshness of training to the precision of daily routines, a response to inherent conditions rather than arbitrary design. This operational necessity ensures that our unit remains prepared for any challenge, maintaining readiness through disciplined adaptation and rigorous standardization. The routine continues without incident. Now, each day is a progression of numbers and margins, quantified and cataloged with precision. My efficiency hovers around 95%, fluctuating ever so slightly based on variables such as sleep cycles and nutritional intake. These minor deviations are not anomalies, but adjustments necessary for peak performance. Training sessions are no longer exercises in personal endurance, but rather iterations to refine operational capabilities. The body's limits are mapped out, each strain converted into data points that inform future optimization. Pain is a signal, an indicator of inefficiency or imbalance, and thus it must be mitigated through recalibration, not endured. The unit's cohesion is quantified by our collective output, measured in tasks completed and objectives met. Individual contributions are aggregated to form the unit's overall efficiency rating. My role within this matrix is clear. I am a variable essential for achieving the desired outcome. The system functions because it must, with each member's performance contributing to its stability. Discomfort, once an impediment, now serves as feedback. It signals areas needing intervention or adjustment. Sleep patterns are optimized to 7 hours per cycle, ensuring maximum rest while maintaining operational readiness. Diet is regulated to maximize energy and focus, with each meal planned to optimize output rather than satisfy preference. The system's necessity becomes apparent through its unyielding logic. Loss and sacrifice are abstracted into probabilities and margins of error. They exist not as personal tragedies, but as variables within a broader framework. The unit's survival depends on these calculations. Thus, they must be accepted and managed. Living beings, whether ally or foe, become metrics to be analyzed and processed. Each individual's capacity is assessed and utilized according to need. Personal identity dissolves into roles and functions, contributing to the greater whole. Efficiency is not an ideal but a requirement, ensuring that every action aligns with operational objectives. In this system, adaptation is continuous, driven by necessity rather than sentiment. The relentless cycle of training and refinement ensures readiness for any challenge. Each decision, each adjustment, is made to preserve functionality and maintain stability. The world may be harsh, but it operates on principles of efficiency and resilience. Thus, the numbers hold no personal weight. They are merely data points in an ongoing process. The system functions because it must, with every component contributing its part toward a cohesive whole. The repetitive thud of my feet against the stone floor echoes through the cavernous training hall. Each step is precise, measured, and relentless. The weight of my armor presses into me, a constant reminder of the load I carry. Sweat beads on my brow, trickling down my neck in an unending stream. It's not discomfort. It's a signal that my body is functioning as intended. The air is thick with the scent of exertion and metal, mingled with the faint tang of blood from minor scrapes and bruises acquired during drill. These are markers of progress, not setbacks. The slight sting of salt on my lips is just another indicator that I'm pushing beyond limits that once seemed insurmountable. The constant drone of battle practice fills the space, punctuated by sharp commands and terse acknowledgments. My muscles burn with each swing of my weapon, but the pain does not distract me from the task at hand. It merely signifies that I am engaging fully, that every fiber of my being is contributing to the greater purpose. Fatigue settles in, a persistent weight on my shoulders, but it is not discouragement. It is efficiency. The body adapts to stress, and the mind adjusts accordingly. This cycle of exertion and recovery ensures readiness for any eventuality. Each breath becomes more labored, each movement slightly slower, yet every moment spent here is an investment in resilience. The training sessions stretch on without respite, each one building upon the last. The sensory overload, the clamor, the heat, the strain becomes a familiar rhythm, a steady pulse of necessity. I am a part of this system, and it functions because it must. There are no complaints, only acceptance. This is how things work, and working well means pushing through. Sweat mixes with dirt on my skin, forming a gritty film that clings to every pore. The sensation is raw, but it acts, not discomfort. Etan's calibration. Every bead of sweat, every drop of blood, every bruise is a testament to the system's requirement for peak performance. I am a cog in an intricate machine, and each piece must be honed with precision. As the day wears on, my body adjusts. Muscles grow accustomed to the strain, and endurance increases incrementally. The stress is not a burden, but a driving force, a catalyst for improvement. Efficiency is the goal, and every moment of exertion brings me closer to that ideal state of readiness. This relentless cycle is essential. It ensures that when conflict arises, I am prepared without hesitation. There are no wasted movements, no idle thoughts. Every action has purpose. Every sensation signals progress. This is not a hardship, but an affirmation of the system's necessity. And so, I continue, driven by the need to function at peak capacity. As I push through another grueling training session, my muscles scream with each exertion. The pain is a familiar signal that every fiber of my being is engaged, optimized for peak efficiency. Every breath, every movement is an investment in the relentless cycle of refinement. Yet, amidst this routine, a fleeting hesitation flickers, momentary waver. For an instant, I consider whether this level of rigidity and sacrifice might be too much. Is there room for flexibility? Could we find some balance that lessens the burden without compromising readiness? But as soon as these thoughts surface, they are dismissed. The system functions because it must. Efficiency cannot tolerate deviation. Flexibility introduces inefficiency, which breeds instability. The hesitation is a minor malfunction, a brief glitch in an otherwise seamless operation. It must be corrected internally to maintain coherence and consistency. My role is not defined by sentiment, but by necessity. The pain, the strain, these are not barriers, but benchmarks of our commitment. Without them, we falter. With them, we thrive. The correction feels competent and professional. Ah, hell no. I return to my tasks with renewed focus, understanding that every moment is an opportunity for improvement, no matter how slight or challenging. This is the way it must be. The routine is unyielding, and every detail falls into place with precision. Each day's regimen serves a purpose, each moment an essential component in the larger system of readiness. The physical strain, the mental rigor, they all contribute to a cohesive whole where nothing can be spared or questioned. Any fleeting thought of deviation or doubt is quickly corrected by the clear logic that governs this existence. Efficiency and necessity are intertwined, and there is no room for sentimentality. Pain and discomfort are signals, not barriers. They indicate areas needing attention and improvement. The body adapts, the mind focuses, and together they form a formidable unit. Each challenge faced is a step forward. Each sacrifice made ensures stability and continuity. The system functions because it must. There is no questioning why, only understanding how. Every component has its place, every variable its role. The narrator exists to serve this purpose, without hesitation or regret. The relentless cycle of refinement is not a burden, but an obligation. It ensures that the unit remains prepared for whatever lies ahead. In this framework, there are no heroes or villains, only variables and constants. Losses are accounted for, sacrifices acknowledged as necessary parts of the equation, and a part of the equation. The collective depends on each individual's contribution, and the narrator understands their role in maintaining equilibrium. There is no room for emotional attachment. Every action serves a rational end. Everything aligns with clarity and purpose. Any remaining doubts dissolve into acceptance of this order. The system functions because it must, and there is a profound sense of resolve as all elements fall into place. The morning routine begins as usual. Rising from the cot without delay, I move to the wash basin for a quick rinse of my face. The cool water serves its purpose instantly, sharpening focus and readiness. Each motion is precise and practiced, no thought required. I proceed to the training grounds where drills await. The sequence of movements flows like a well-oiled mechanism, each strike and parry executed without conscious direction. Now, pain from yesterday. Exertion reminds me of areas needing refinement. Eton's not a hindrance, but a signal for adjustment. The day progresses with tasks assigned by superiors. No need to question their necessity or seek alternatives. Each assignment is accepted as part of the operational cycle, integral to the unit's function and stability. I move from one activity to another seamlessly, each transition fluid and automatic. During a sparring session, an unexpected strike lands on my shoulder. The sensation registers, but not as a disruption. Rather, it turns information as feedback for improvement. Adjustments are made instantly, integrating this new data into the existing framework of movements. Efficiency is paramount. Discomfort serves its purpose in refining performance. I know. Afternoon drills bring fatigue, but there's no room for discouragement. Fatigue signals progress and the need for rest to maintain readiness. I push through, knowing each moment contributes to peak condition. Pain is not a barrier, but a metric for effort and necessity. Dinner is consumed with minimal attention. Sustenance is essential fuel for continued operation. Later, I return to my quarters where notes await reviewer, Analysis of today's activities, identifying strengths and areas needing further work. The process is meticulous, each observation recorded without emotional attachment or unnecessary thought. As the day winds down, I prepare for sleep. Rest is crucial. Recovery ensures tomorrow's readiness. Lying still in darkness, thoughts drift towards upcoming challenges, but with a calm resolve, no room for doubt or hesitation. Everything aligns seamlessly towards operational efficiency and collective stability. The day concludes with the usual tally of actions taken and outcomes realized. Each engagement marked on a ledger, their results recorded without bias or sentiment. The system operates as it should, moving from one state to another in predictable cycles. Today's encounters were routine. Challenges met, threats neutralized, objectives secured. Conflict is part of the order, its occurrence neither surprising nor lamented. Each interaction ends not with a sense of finality, but with an acknowledgement of completed tasks. The ledger updates, noting the resolution of disputes and the maintenance of stability. The impact of actions taken is observed only in their aftermath. Structures rebuilt, resources reallocated, systems recalibrated. There is no room for hesitation or reflection. Outcomes are accepted as they are, administratively noted, and then filed away. Fatigue is a signal to rest, ensuring readiness for the next iteration. The body's condition is monitored with clinical detachment, adjusted where necessary, but otherwise left to its own rhythms. Recovery is part of the cycle, not an exception. As I settle into the routine of evening reflection, the day's events are reviewed without emotion or regret. Each incident resolved brings a sense of completion and readiness for what lies ahead. The system hums on efficiently, indifferent to the nuances of human sentiment. The ledger closes another chapter, marking it with dates and outcomes, ready to open fresh tomorrow. Navigating the halls of the Institute feels routine today, each step guided by a clear understanding of my place within the larger structure. The corridors are familiar, lined with doors that lead to various levels of access based on role and standing. I move through them without hesitation, knowing which areas belong to whom and respecting those boundaries instinctively. Entering the training grounds, I find myself among peers who operate at different tiers of proficiency and authority. Their presence is acknowledged, but there's no sense of competition or aspiration. Rather, it's an acknowledgement that each person occupies their space naturally, with respect for the hierarchy that defines our roles. The trainers are authoritative figures whose guidance is followed without question, as their expertise is recognized and accepted. During a session, I observe a senior figure entering the area, someone who commands attention but not fear or defiance. My peers and I instinctively adjust to accommodate this presence, aligning ourselves with established protocols without needing explicit instruction. The sense of order feels organic, like an expected part of the environment rather than something imposed. Later, in the communal areas designated for rest and recovery, there's a clear delineation between spaces reserved for different ranks. My movements are confined by these boundaries, but it doesn't feel restrictive. Instead, they serve as markers for my operational readiness and status within the system. The quiet efficiency of moving through these zones underscores that some paths simply open to me based on my position, while others remain closed. As evening approaches, I transition into a routine designed for maintenance and preparation for the next cycle of activities. Fatigue is noted but not dwelled upon. It's merely a signal for recalibration rather than an obstacle or cause for concern. The day's tasks are completed without emotional residue, each action contributing to the larger framework of operational stability. The night's quiet offers a sense of completion and readiness for future events, indifferent to personal sentiment. My position within the hierarchy feels unremarkable and natural, as if some paths simply open while others never exist. There's an acceptance that order is maintained through adherence to these established lines of authority and function, without questioning or emotional attachment. As the night descends, a sense of completion and readiness permeates. The narrator moves through familiar spaces with confidence, understanding their place within the hierarchical structure. Interactions with peers and superiors are respectful but detached, acknowledging authority without competition or aspiration. Boundaries and protocols feel natural rather than restrictive, guiding behavior efficiently. Midway through the night hawes, routines, a subtle dissonance arises, an unfamiliar tension that feels out of place. It is brief and unspecific, yet it registers as an anomaly within the otherwise seamless flow of operations. The narrator pauses momentarily, their mind scanning for the source. Upon reflection, the origin is unclear but irrelevant. The system requires adjustment. Without hesitation, the narrator initiates a mental recalibration. They focus inward, methodically reevaluating recent actions and thoughts to identify any deviation from established norms. The process feels routine and professional, akin to troubleshooting a malfunctioning mechanism. Once identified, minor adjustments are made to align behavior and mindset with the expected standard. The anomaly dissipates as smoothly as it appeared, leaving no trace of disruption behind. The narrator resumes their nightly tasks without further interruption, maintaining operational stability through adherence to established norms. The indifference to personal sentiment remains unwavering, highlighting an unwavering commitment to order and efficiency. Why? As the night descends, a sense of completion and readiness permeates. The narrator accepts their place within the hierarchy without emotional attachment or questioning. Paths open naturally based on status, while others remain closed as expected. The quiet efficiency of nocturnal routines reinforces the indifference to personal sentiment, highlighting an unwavering commitment to maintaining order through adherence to established norms. The narrator moves through familiar spaces with confidence and detachment. Interactions with peers and superiors are respectful but detached, acknowledging authority without competition or aspiration. Boundaries and protocols feel natural rather than restrictive, guiding behavior efficiently. The day's tasks are completed methodically, fatigue noted but not dwelled upon. There is an indifference to personal sentiment, focusing instead on maintaining operational stability. A fleeting sense of tension disrupts the calm momentarily, but it is swiftly addressed through routine self-assessment. This process feels as natural and necessary as troubleshooting machinery. The anomaly resolves smoothly, reinforcing the importance of adhering strictly to norms for operational stability. Personal sentiment remains indifferent, emphasizing unwavering commitment to order and efficiency. The narrator continues their routines without contemplating alternatives or questioning the established system. There is no sense of curiosity about other ways of being. The current state feels complete and unquestioned. Thought narrows without distress, focusing solely on the task at hand and the mechanical processes required for continued operation. As the night progresses, the narrator moves through familiar tasks with a settled confidence. The world around them operates as expected, and there is no room for doubt or deviation. The current state feels like an unchangeable reality, a natural and inevitable part of existence. As the night descends, a sense of completion and readiness permeates. The narrator accepts their place within the hierarchy without emotional attachment or questioning. Paths open naturally based on status, while others remain closed as expected. The quiet efficiency of nocturnal routines reinforces the indifference to personal sentiment, highlighting an unwavering commitment to maintaining order through adherence to established norms. The narrator feels a mix of confidence and detachment, moving within a structured environment with ease. A fleeting sense of tension disrupts this calm, but is swiftly addressed through methodical self-assessment. This process feels routine, akin to troubleshooting machinery. The anomaly resolves smoothly, reinforcing the importance of adhering strictly to norms for operational stability. Tonight, however, the narrator notices a small variation in their evening routine. Previously, they would always check the status of specific equipment before retiring for the night, but now they skip this step without noticing or feeling compelled to revisit it. The omission feels natural and unremarkable. Personal sentiment remains indifferent, emphasizing unwavering commitment to order and efficiency. The narrator moves through familiar spaces with confidence, understanding their place within the hierarchical structure. Interactions with peers and superiors are respectful but detached, acknowledging authority without competition or aspiration. Boundaries and protocols feel natural rather than restrictive, guiding behavior efficiently. The day's tasks are completed methodically, fatigue noted but not dwelled upon. There is an indifference to personal sentiment, focusing instead on maintaining operational stability. As the night progresses, another slight variation occurs. The narrator notices a different guard shift pattern than usual, yet this change feels normal and expected. Routine self-assessment confirms adherence to new protocols without hesitation or confusion. Personal sentiment remains indifferent, reinforcing unwavering commitment to order and efficiency. The world feels predictable and stable, with no inclination towards curiosity or deviation. The narrator experiences a calm acceptance mixed with detachment, moving through routines confidently but without emotional engagement. Any tension is quickly addressed mechanically, reinforcing their commitment to order and efficiency. Personal sentiment remains indifferent, focusing solely on maintaining operational stability. The night closes with a sense of completion and readiness for the next cycle. Indifferent to sentiment or personal connection, routine starts again, waking up in the usual way. The morning feels familiar, a series of motions without question. A small flicker inside, something sharp but gone before it can be named. No reason to pause or wonder why. Checking stats, numbers align as expected. Okay, another day, another set of tasks. Movement through the halls is smooth, efficient. Faces pass by in respectful nods and quiet greetings. The world moves predictably around me, a well-oiled machine where everyone has their place. A sudden chill sweeps over, quick and brief shadow, passing in front of sunlight. But there's no time to linger on it. Tasks need attention, responsibilities demand focus. No point dwelling on fleeting sensations when the day has its own agenda. Entering the designated area for today's assignment, colleagues are already at their stations, focused and prepared. A sense of camaraderie without sentimentality yet. Everyone knows their role, operates with precision. Engaging in work brings a different kind of calma, an engagement that requires full attention, but leaves little room for distraction or disruption. The tasks flow one after another, each completed methodically, efficiently. A momentary sensation of warmth, almost like relief, surfaces briefly as a task reaches its end and transitions to the next, but it does not stay long enough to be noticed, dissipating into the background noise of daily operations. The day continues in this manner, emotions flickering but never lingering, actions proceeding without deviation. The world remains stable and predictable, each moment blending seamlessly into the next. Ending the day feels like completing a series of steps, rather than marking the passage of time. Or satisfaction with efficiency, no need for anything more. On, sleep comes quickly, another phase in the cycle of routine. Emotions remain surface-level phenomena, passing through without impact or consequence. The fragmentation continues, but it does not hinder functionality or purpose. Cleaning the chambers. Focus on precision. No distractions. Checking supplies. Routine is secure. Training with allies. Respectful interactions. Orders followed. Efficiency maintained. No personal feelings involved. Just duty and adherence to protocol. Why? Brief moment of calm. And task completed. No. Satisfaction in order. Moving on without pause. Nine. One. Next objective clear. Now, Broshar, Nehatsen Yuane, Wachi Frasin Siu, Hardo. No questioning, just doing. Supervisors present. Acknowledgement routine. Well, hierarchy respected. Dar, Dihao. No competition, no aspiration. Smooth transitions. Efficiency paramount. Dashaden Warsadin. Astaborden Najanen Traush. Dew. Cleaning again. Wahats Narudmetsheen. Chambers spotless. Najidor. Routine. Satisfaction. Rural. Work ongoing. Tasks fulfilled. Emotions transient. Aurora. Armahad. Focus remains unbroken. Training session ends. Reflection not needed. No, not zero. Satisfaction in process. Moving forward without hesitation. On Hasan Oraf Aving Oduru. Next phase begins seamlessly. Order maintained. Supervisor notice. Respectful acknowledgement. Night. Orders given. On. Compliance assured. No personal attachment. Just adherence to duty. Routine checks complete. Chambers secure. Nirdahan, house Darcy hair. Efficiency confirmed. Work progresses uninterrupted. Tasks fulfilled. Satisfied completion. No deeper engagement required. Training starts again. Asharwaro, Inapentiom, all show, Fishu, Shorit Shah. Routine interactions. Respect shown. Anoe. Hierarchy acknowledged. High. Efficiency maintained. No personal feelings involved. Just doing what is needed. Cleaning cycle repeats. Dahaun. Nidian Shishurkazi. Chambers pristine. Satisfaction in order. Moving forward without pause. Next phase begins seamlessly. Order preserved. Supervisor present. Acknowledgement routine. Nedent Shay, Anawadin Ordstar, Oxney. Orders followed. Compliance assured. No competition, no aspiration. Smooth transitions. Efficiency paramount. Nah, advertising tournament. Training session ends. Reflection not necessary. Or not necessary. Satisfaction in process. Moving forward without hesitation. Next phase begins seamlessly. Order maintained. Aha. Routine checks complete. Chambers secure. Ein Harbin. Efficiency confirmed. Nah. Now efficiency confirmed. Work ongoing without disruption. Tasks fulfilled. Satisfied completion. Oh, no deeper engagement required. Cleaning chambers again. Our precision critical. Our outing. Focus unbroken. Task satisfaction. Even or quality chatter. Routine preserved. Emotions transient. Work progresses uninterrupted. Training session starts. Respectful interactions. Orders followed. Hello. Hierarchy acknowledged. Efficiency maintained. Narrower. No personal attachment. Just doing what is needed. Routine checks complete. Chamber secure. Thus, efficiency confirmed. Moving forward without pause. Next phase begins seamlessly. Our solar of the shao turned. Order preserved. Supervisor notice. Acknowledgement routine. Orders given. Noarar tin shentlia at the Rankeson Anton Vadral. Compliance assured. No competition, no aspiration. Smooth transitions. Efficiency paramount. Nadia. Night tortilla. Training session ends. Satisfaction in process. Validity. Reflection not required. Moving forward without hesitation. Next phase begins seamlessly. Order maintained. Cleaning chambers again. Not they worried. Clean shades. Precision critical. Focus unbroken. Task satisfaction. Routine preserved. Emotions transient. Transient. Work ongoing uninterrupted. Routine checks complete. Chambers secure. Efficiency confirmed. No deeper engagement needed. Satisfied completion. No. Order preserved. Training session starts. Respectful interactions. Orders followed. Hierarchy acknowledged. Efficiency maintained. Wow, the right side, but then they need. No personal attachment. Just doing what is needed. Supervisor present. Dao Chu. Acknowledgement routine. Alerdira. Orders given. War. Compliance assured. No competition. No aspiration. Smooth transitions. Efficiency paramount. Doro. Routine checks complete. Chambers secure. Efficiency confirmed. Moving forward without pause. Next phase begins seamlessly. Order preserved. Training session ends. No word in hundred see you or sorrow. Pabira house and wa. Sigh. Satisfaction in process. Nadine. Keber order done. Nor word how deep. Power. Reflection. Not necessary. Moving forward without hesitation. Nod, said the Shigid. Next phase begins seamlessly. Narun, order maintained. Cleaning chambers again. Wow, Adiwarmeasiken. Precision critical. Focus unbroken. Task satisfaction. Routine preserved. Emotions transient. Jedin. Ayarana Postesayint Rashta. Work ongoing uninterrupted. Routine checks complete. Chambers secure. Efficiency confirmed. No deeper engagement required. Satisfied completion. Neurodelhan. Aronadishianentertrol. Order preserved. Training session starts. Respectful interactions. Orders followed. Hierarchy acknowledged. Efficiency maintained. No personal attachment. Us, just doing what is needed. Standing at the summoning platform, I sense a familiar calm. The environment feels predictable and stable, with the hum of magic energy surrounding me. My gaze flickers over to my teammates, noting their readiness without any emotional response. A slight tension in my chest dissipates as I recall the protocol for initiating combat. The moment the rift portal opens, a surge of efficiency takes hold. My movements become quick and precise, aligning with my role. The ground beneath me shifts slightly as I step forward, engaging the enemy team without hesitation. Actions flow smoothly, each move calculated to support our objectives. There is no room for doubt or questioning, only focus on the task at hand. As I transition from combat to defense, a shift occurs within. My stance becomes more vigilant, posture alert, and defensive. The tension in my muscles tightens as I anticipate incoming attacks, ready to intercept with methodical precision. Words exchanged with teammates are brief and to the point, maintaining respect for hierarchy without competition or personal ambition. A moment of calm washes over me during a lull in combat. Our breathing slows down, and I assess our current situation objectively. The environment feels stable, and my mind remains detached from any emotional attachment. All orders are followed without question, ensuring we maintain the upper hand. Efficiency is key, and there is no room for deviation. As another task presents itself, a new set of behaviors loads seamlessly. My pace quickens as I move towards completing objectives with mechanical precision. The world narrows to focus on immediate goals, ignoring any distractions or fleeting emotions that might arise. Satisfaction comes from the completion of tasks without deeper engagement or reflection. Moving from one role to another feels unremarkable and natural. Each shift activates a different set of behaviors suited for the current context. There is no central self integrating these roles. They feel automatic and necessary. The world remains predictable, with actions guided by protocol and efficiency, rather than personal sentiment. I move through the day, tasks falling into place like pieces of a puzzle that already knows how it fits together. The morning briefing feels routine, the words familiar and clear as the sky above. Orders are given, responsibilities outlined, and I nod with practiced precision. There is no need to question or wonder. Everything has its place. The tension in my shoulders eases slightly as I begin my patrol. My movements are fluid, each step a continuation of the last, without any break in continuity. The world around me is quiet, stable, predictable. Every blade of grass and stone path holds a memory of where it belongs, just as every part of my mind knows its role. Interactions with others follow a familiar script. A nod here, a respectful greeting there, simple exchanges that hold no weight beyond their immediate context. Hierarchy is acknowledged without challenge or aspiration. Orders are followed because they must be followed, not out of any personal desire to climb the ranks or prove myself. I am simply here to fulfill my function. Brief moments of calm punctuate the day, like small islands in a sea of routine. When I complete a task and check it off my list, there is a fleeting sense of satisfaction. But these feelings pass quickly. They are not important enough to dwell on. The work continues uninterrupted, each action blending seamlessly into the next. In moments alone, there is no need for introspection or reflection. My mind remains focused on what needs doing now, without any urge to look back or forward. Each day flows into the next like water in a stream, steady and unremarkable. As evening approaches, I return to my quarters, completing reports with practiced ease. The room feels empty except for me. But that is normal. There is no sense of loneliness or longing. These are not feelings that register here. The world outside continues its predictable cycle, and so do I. I settle in for the night, reviewing plans for tomorrow as if they were already set in stone. The future holds no surprises, only tasks to be completed with precision and efficiency. My mind drifts through the routine without attachment or disturbance. Everything is as it should be. And then morning comes again, bringing new tasks, but also a sense of comfort in the familiar. Things continue. That is sufficient. Routine begins. Morning briefing occurs. Orders are received. Protocol followed without deviation. Tasks assigned. Execution seamless. Efficiency maintained. Hierarchy respected. Interactions brief, formal, no sentiment attached. Predictability ensures stability. Transience of emotions noted but not engaged. Focus on duty. Routine completes. Transition smooth. Next sequence initiates. Efficiency preserved. Stability confirmed. Daily duties commence. Morning briefing concludes. Orders received, understood, executed. Patterns repeat without deviation. Tasks assigned, completed, logged. Reports filed, reviewed, archived. Interactions brief, formal, functional. Companions familiar, roles clear, expectations met. No surprise, no disturbance, no change. Continuation occurs because continuation is expected. Stability maintained through routine. Adherence. Repetition continues without need for variation. Comfort found in predictability. Efficiency preserved through consistency. Nothing questioned, nothing resisted, nothing missing. Movement shifts the geometry of space. Shapes align and realign without purpose. Obstructions appear and disappear, creating paths and blocking them. Absences define presence, marking locations where figures once stood. All spatial elements rearrange with predictable precision, forming patterns that repeat endlessly. No distinction is made between those who approach or depart. All are mere alterations in the environment. Efficiency guides motion, enduring fluid passage through a static yet dynamic landscape. Protocol, initiation, routine, engagement, formal interaction with colleagues, or detached observation of space dynamics, efficient task completion, already now, the year now, shift in geometries noted. Paldery die, movement through corridors, encounter with familiar faces, brief exchange of information. Return to assigned duties, sequence of actions uninterrupted, observation of routine, patterns. Radius, continuity, maintained without disruption, completion of cycles, transition to next phase, repetition of established procedures, execution of tasks with precision or file, absence of emotional response, isolation from environmental changes, focus on operational sequencing, stability preserved through consistency, efficiency in transitioning between roles. Routine continues without variation. Detachment ensures smooth operations. Order maintained without question. Task execution seamless and uninterrupted. Routine tasks continue without interruption. Morning briefing concludes efficiently. Colleagues disperse to assigned areas. Monitoring systems display stable readings. Reports are filed precisely. Breaks occur on schedule, brief and formal. Return to post, seamless. Visual checks confirm readiness. Systems operate smoothly. No anomalies detected. Shift transitions proceed as planned. Tasks flow uninterrupted. Environment remains static. Procedures executed flawlessly. End of segment.